Happy St. David's Day, everyone! It is the first day of Dewithon and I'm pretty excited about it. I think my kid and my husband are going to go down to the St. David's Day parade later, get really into the spirit. But I've decided the first books that I'm going to start with for Dewithon is going to be In Retail by Jeremy Dixon. And this is the one where he was working in retail, like at like a pharmacy chain or something, and he was just like at the till and writing poems about what it's like to work in retail. Like there's one poem where he sort of talks about like doing the overhead announcement and like all the, you know, I don't know, build up to that, and then finding out afterwards that nobody heard it because it was too garbled. And that's relatable, so I'm pretty into that. So I'm going to start with that. We're going to go to Nero now, get some coffee and a sandwich, and I'll start with that. But also I've decided I'm going to read Llyfr Nebo by Man and Stefan Ross. It's in the Welsh language, so it will be a struggle, but this is my Everest. I will read this book for Dewithon. I have decided it. So it's really good. It's supposed to be like a dystopian, like nuclear apocalypse type thing. It's quite small. Everyone says it's amazing, has loads of awards. So I don't have to read it every day, as long as every day that I do read it, roughly half-ish of the days or so, I read 9 pages, which I can do. I can do that. 9 pages. Like, they're not particularly intense pages, you know? It's not particularly small print. I can do 9 pages. I will do it today. So that's what I'm doing. 9 pages of that. And probably just this whole go. So I'm pretty excited about that. What a delightful spring day. Yeah? It's so sunny out all of a sudden. I think I might need sunglasses. What about you?
I won't.
Okay, I'm liking this one that starts with, would it be wrong to say how the safes work? And then there's a whole poem saying like all of the dirty secrets about how basically you should just rob them when they're trying to switch out the safe stuff. Because it's like really not very well guarded. So I think that's probably why they didn't name the actual pharmacy chain, though it's quite clearly either Boots or Soup Truck. Oh, he's cute.
He's cute, isn't it? Did this happen? Well, this one has a shoe, and this one has a...
Are you skating in the kitchen? Wow, what a shocker that skating in the kitchen was a bad idea.
We're still here after 20 years. This parade is still here. Everybody who's come and played music, that's the
development. If it's bringing money into Wales, money into Cardiff. What an opportunity we have today at St. David's Day. And where is the investment? It's not there.
I really want to read this one. Now it's finally in paperback. That's what I was waiting for. Oh, Tina was literally just talking about this on her channel. Okay, well, I finished this guy and it was delightful. I think my favourite one was just like a really tiny poem about how men never wait for 1 penny change. I don't know why I liked it so much. I think like just so many things happen that are just really annoying and really weird. And you know, you can make a poem of it and turn it into something gorgeous. You know, why not? Anyway, I really liked that. That was really lovely. And I think when I did like my TBR thing for Dewithon, I wasn't sure exactly about the Wales link for this one because I'd obviously sort of met the guy at the Saran Poetry Festival. I met Jeremy Dixon and he sort of signed my thingy, but all I knew was that he had at one time been in Wales for the Saran Poetry Festival, but quite a lot of these poems do sort of mention places in Wales and being Welsh, so solid. It's a solid Dewithon pick and it was really good. So first one down. Right, here we go.
7-2. Here we go.
Shit. I'm already struggling. Like, sort of, I live in South Wales and things that people sort of say on the street to each other, just sort of like normal at home, you know, non-official things you say. The dialect in South Wales versus the dialect in North Wales is very different, and this book is like definitely North Walesian. I've already had to like look up loads of stuff and like ask my husband loads of things, and I'm only just a few pages in, but you know, I'm not giving up, you know, don't worry, I'm feeling strong, you know, this is my Everest, I'm committed to the project, and you know, give it another 4 hours, I'm gonna have that 9 pages locked.
Like a difficult. Not like a napuba.
Okay, I don't want like, you know, an award or anything for pure awesomeness, but I should get something because boom, page 9, y'all, nailed it. Okay, it's like good so far. Like, I'm intrigued. I want to know more. I've had some difficulties. Like, there was a word earlier, bechod, and I was like, oh, sinful? And the girl was on about like the bechod people, and I was like, the sinful people? But I asked my husband just to make sure, and he was like, no, like in the north, bechod can be like drian, which is like poor, you know, like poor people, you know, sad for them. And I was like, okay, it's about the apocalypse, so that makes way more sense. Anyway, at the minute, it's this girl, like, I don't know how old she is, but she's like school-ish age, so I imagine like maybe teens or so, I don't know so far. But she lives with her mother and her baby sister in North Wales, so like around Caernarfon area, if you know like anything about Wales. And she said like sort of from her roof she can see Anglesey apparently, and like the Menai Strait and everything. Something has happened. There's not a lot of explanation about what it is. She just sort of calls it a terfyn. She just sort of says, you know, it's some sort of like happening, like some sort of thing that has happened, but we don't know what has happened, and she hasn't sort of given any more information about what has happened. But it's changed their life quite a bit. Like, the girl no longer goes to school, and her mum has to sort of like homeschool her, but she doesn't have a lot of time or interest in that. So basically, the girl just reads and then writes about what she reads, and that's really sort of it. They're also worried about the ink and the pens going, so the mother's like, well, you know enough math for now. But she found this blue book, so Llyfr Glas Nebo. The title of the book is Nebo's Blue Book, and it's just basically a blue notebook, and the girl's like writing her story in the blue notebook, which is cute. Also, she does a lot of talking about like the old days, things that people used to do in the old days, like drive their cars down to the seaside and just sit around and do nothing for ages and just put their feet into the water. Like, apparently they don't do a lot of sitting around anymore. Everything is to do with chores. Like, they're sort of looking for firewood and stuff at the minute, and there's a house near them where the people no longer live there. Don't know what happened to them. The girl thinks they're probably fine, but the mother's weird about discussing it. So, lots of mystery, lots of interesting things going on. If I have not mistranslated any of that, then it's very interesting. And we'll see where we go from there. Like, I could continue reading more, because it's only like 9 o'clock. I have plenty of time. I could continue reading this, but I am exhausted. Just from like that little bit. Like, I think 9 pages is going to be my max limit on this book at any one time. But if I stick to it, every time I read it, I read 9 pages. I think I'll be done with it by the end of the month. So, you know, that's good. I think now what I'm going to do is move on to the next English language book on my Dewithon list, which is Water Shall Refuse Them. So, pretty excited about that. I'm a bit ahead of schedule. Jesus, should I be reading this late at night? I'm a wimp. I'm already scared. Why do you look like you're in pain? Well, everyone's gonna wear this today. Okay, so minor fuck up. I forgot that on Friday I went out drinking with people from work, walked with them to town, and left my bike at work. So, went out this morning like la 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 la, 5 minutes to get to work, jump on my bike, oh wait, no bike, and definitely not enough time to walk to work. Okay, so I'm on my lunch break at home currently, and I'm gonna try to squeeze in right now in the next half an hour my 9 pages of this, but probably for half an hour that's just gonna get me 1 page, to be totally honest with you. But you know, I'm cool. I can roll with the punches. I can't do any tonight because, like, God knows why. Like, I surely can't remember. I agreed to go to this like gig tonight with my friends. It's like a 1990s R&B gig. It's like Nelly and Shaggy and like Salt and Pepper and stuff. Like, I think at the time I was like, I'm down, because they probably asked me when I was drunk. But now, like, it's a Monday night. I'm exhausted. Life is hard. Now I'm like, why did I sign up for that? But anyway, no reading will be happening roughly past 3:30. So, also, I can't really take the books with me to work because I got to downgrade to a fanny pack. That's right. Any fanny pack haters, like, I'm not here for it, okay? Don't be talking to me about that. I love me a good bum bag, right? Okay. Anyway, so, oh yeah, I was reading a lot. Hey, chill. I was reading quite a bit this morning in my Water Shall Refuse Them by McKnight Hardy or something. Sorry. And it's actually quite good. Like, it is super creepy. Like, the scene is creepy. Everything's a bit weird and mysterious. Like, always a little bit gloomy and nighttime. Do you know what I mean? Like, it sort of set the scene. Basically, this girl, she's maybe like teenage or whatever, and she's in a car driving to Wales from England somewhere with her dad, her mom, and her little brother, who's about 4, I guess. And something has happened. You don't know what has happened, but the mother is really anxious and like really annoyed. And there's some talk about some person, some girl never coming back. And the mother has quite a lot of resentment towards the 4-year-old. Hey, chill. My dog is melting down. But she has a lot of resentment towards this 4-year-old for some reason, I don't know. But apparently the 4-year-old has like bandages on him, like head bandages and knee bandages, and he always like clings to the teenage older sister because he says that his mother doesn't love him, which is like, gets me right here. But they, for some reason, need to spend this month in Wales, like to wind down or to recover or to get away from this place where this bad thing happened. And the dad's an artist or whatever, and they go to this house in Wales that's basically falling down and run down. It's like a workmate of the dad's or whatever has said, oh, it's like this neglected house that we inherited, but we've never been there. Like, could you maybe go up for a month, sort it out a bit, you know, do any sort of repairs you need doing, blah, 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 and then you can stay there free, you know, for that month. So it's like a bit of like a creepy haunted house type thing in Wales, in like a really creepy, like low population village, and like a bit of like a tragedy mystery type thing has happened. So I'm in it. I am loving it, but I'm definitely gonna have to stop reading it at night because last night was giving me the creeps when I was reading it. Anyway, that is my update. I'm gonna go do something about this. I gotta do something about that. Okay, all's ready. Okay, if Salt and Pepper don't do Waterman, I'm leaving. I'm gonna be like, peace, this was not worth my Monday night.
Big and chunky and cute.
Oh.
Yeah, he does, but he's so cute. You're gonna love him.
Are you the cutest dog? Are you
So
the cutest
cute.
dog?
Yeah, like Emma's stuck in crazy traffic, so we're just gonna...
What's it called?
The dock.
That's it, it's really nice.
Well, that's where we went for breakfast with Tim that one time, remember?
It is super nice down there. Heather, that...
What you gonna do? How you gonna act? Or what you gonna do now? Living again. Got my foot. And Eve ain't going nowhere. Come on.
Here we go now. Here we go no matter what. Hey, all I think about.
Okay, I am now gonna go to work. I had the morning off to recover from my 90s gig, which was banging. It was so good. I should never have selected off. I feel bad. It was like bops for days. It was so good. Anyway, so for the morning, I slept quite late, and now I am reading and having cookies with Maisie. Anyway, so Water Shall Refuse Him is what I'm working on at the minute, and I'm now in the middle of chapter 5, which isn't so bad, you know. But this book isn't so bad. I think a couple people said they didn't really like it, so I'm a bit worried that it will eventually go bad. But I quite like the sort of mysteriousness of it, you know, like you don't really know what's going on most of the time. There's something about the creed, which is this thing this girl has to do. She has to like she's got all these relics and she has to like place the relics in certain order, and she has to do things like if one thing happens, she's got to do it as well in order to like balance things out. So like her little brother hurt his knee, so she had to hurt his other knee. You know, she's like, I feel bad about it. I love my little brother, but the creed demands it. And also we have more info about the girl that's not coming back, and that is this girl's dead sister Petra. The mother's not okay. I guess she's also got like serious mental health problems other than the sister being dead. So we're going through that at the minute. Also, she's in this village in Wales and there's a drought, and she's just met a boy who is talking about how they're on the same team and stuff and how they're the same. So is he like also part of this like creed thing? This sort of like weird like witchcraft type thing? Like, I don't know. It's a bit like The Craft. Like people like kids getting into stuff they don't understand and then it's sort of going crazy. So I'm into it. These spring flowers are delightful. Okay, sort of home stretch book-wise. This girl seems to be so weirdly cruel. She's sort of like dismantling like bugs and animals while they're alive, you know, as part of like the creed, like her witchcraft thing. But I like the sort of mystery of it. I like that she seems to be like quite a sort of innocent character despite the fact that she's doing all this sort of stuff. Like, you know, like doing it because the creed says she should do it, and she's like into the creed because of her mother abandoned church and Catholicism and everything when her sister died. And she sort of had to replace it. Anyway, there's also something up with this kid, like her friend that she met in this Welsh village. No one in the village likes him, and they like think that he's like this devil child or like this demon child, him and his mother. And it turns out that he's related to these like sisters 300 years ago who infected the village with the plague. And there's like a plague cross in the middle of the village. But yeah, he keeps like taking pictures of people in the village and acting really weird about it. They're like really weird, creepy photos. And he also like traps and murders birds so that he can sort of make skulls out of them and then just sort of have them in his room like a weirdo. I don't know, I kind of like it. I don't know, like we've yet to see, like it may come to the end and then I'm like, oh, well, I don't really like that ending. But as for now, I'm quite liking it. I'm in it.
Doedd e ddim yn iawn. Sgwarnog oedd e, ond roedd yn ofiach ar gefn ei ben yn codi tu ôl i'r clistiau eirion yna. Roedd na lwmp mawr, ac roedd gan y lwmp geg fach a danydd, a dwy glist fach fel stwmpiau, a dau lygad gwag marw, fel tasa rhywun wedi dwyn, a peli yn ei lygad. Oh, gross.
Okay, I finished Watershell reviews them. I feel now like how it ended was a bit predictable. Like I was like, surely that's not gonna happen, but it did. And I feel like the writing was really good. Like for me, as long as the writing is good, I will continue it, you know, and I won't think too badly of it. And like the characters were good and like the descriptions were good, but yeah, the plot being super predictable was hard. And also I was just like messaging Sean at Pastoral Time Now, and she read it. She said it doesn't really feel like it's in Wales at all, and I was like, actually yeah, like I sort of had thoughts about this before, about how it sort of plays to this like old school terrible like stereotype of Wales as this sort of dark otherness land at the end of the world, like a weird other place, you know. Yeah, it wasn't really anything about the real Wales at all, just like this idea that like medieval English people had about Wales basically. So I didn't love it. I gave it 3 stars. I liked the writing, but I think the story not very good. But it ended grimly, obviously, as you do when you're a witchcraft book that's creepy. And also I've hit my pages for this, and this is hella grim as well. So I was like, I need to sort my life out and either watch a Disney movie or start picking happier books. But in this book, I'm fully caught up. Thank you. I know, I am awesome. And they're talking about more about the like a terfyn, which is like, you know, like the ending or like the happening, like this thing that happened that caused this apocalypse or whatever. They're talking more about it, and like the mom is saying she worked at a hairdresser's and they heard on the radio that a bunch of like bombs had been dropped on America. She was like, oh shit, and she sort of went a bit crazy and like went to the store and panic bought all these like dry goods and beans and everything, and she like printed off loads of things online about like how to hunt rabbits and all this sort of stuff. And then they sort of thought for ages that it was just going to be fine, and she'd like wasted all this money on food, but then the lights went out when she was at work and the radio went quiet, and that was the last there was of that. Now they obviously live in this sort of world where it's really just them, and they like hunt rabbits and things like that. But the son recently found a rabbit in a trap that had like 2 heads. Like it was like a really creepy and terrible description about like a bump on the rabbit's head that had like eyes and like a mouth, or like dead eyes, like sucked in, like a dead face on top of the rabbit's face. Which has actually like really unsettled me and like creeped me out because I'm the only one awake in the house at the minute. But anyway, it's quite good actually, that one. It's just obviously a struggle. So because those were so effing grim and now I need to go to bed and have actual sleep, I've started on this one now, which is The Book of Three by Lloyd Alexander. This is the one that was like made into a Disney movie in the 80s, but it was like one of the only Disney movie cartoons that actually flopped, and I don't know why, to be honest, because I think the movie is delightful. It's The Black Cauldron, you know? Like, if you've seen that movie, like, it's lovely, okay? I don't know why it didn't do better in cinemas. But this book is the sort of basis for that movie, and it's cute. Like, it's about, like, obviously, like, a dark wizard and, like, dark wars and stuff. Like, why are Welsh books so grim? But, like, it's for kids, basically, you know? So there's like a kid main character, and all of the adults are explaining the ways of the world to the kid. You know, he wants to be a warrior, you know, so he sort of wants to make himself a sword and sort of all this sort of stuff. But it's quite, I don't know, it does stick pretty well to, like, Mabinogi type stuff, you know, the Mabinogion, the sort of Welsh epic with all, like, the Welsh legends and everything in this, like, Mabinogion book. It, like, sticks pretty close to it in some places, like, more so than I thought it would do. Like, the Lord of Anuvin is, like, the Lord of the Underworld, and it's, like, the same in the Mabinogion. Quite a lot of the place names and things are quite Welsh, so I'm pretty excited about it. I'm hoping that it will definitely not be as grim as those other two, or else I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. But I quite like this map. The land of Prydain. Prydain being the Welsh word for Britain, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, get on, shall we?
Shit, is it Wednesday?
Are you Sophie for World Book Day? Okay, I'm on my lunch break. I'm coming to you from the bathroom by the radiator, which is generally my happy place in the winter time. Like, eventually when it starts to get a little better weather outside, I can start branching out into other parts of the house during the day. But as it is now, this is the only place that's, like, actually habitable in the house during the day. But I am reading The Book of Three by Lloyd Alexander. I'm still going through it. I was reading it yesterday as well. And I'm, like, a little bit more than halfway, maybe, like that. So I reckon if I pull it together, like, I do have Welsh class tonight, but I reckon if I pull it together, I can finish it today. But it's cute. It's cute. It's like, I don't think I realized how much of, like, a middle grade book it is. Like, I think I thought it was, like, a kid's book, but maybe more like a teen book than a kid's book, and it's definitely like a middle grade type book. But it's cute. The kid is a boy named Taran, and he's the assistant pig keeper for Caer Dalben, his town. And the pig in question is called Hen Wen, just like a big fat white pig. And it turns out that she's very important, this pig. She's an oracle pig. She can, like, see the future or whatever, like give fortunes and various things, and all these very important men come to her for, you know, advice about such and such. And there's been some, like, rumblings of dark power recently in the area. Lord Anuvin, the Lord of the Underworld, has his dudes out, you know, like the Horned King or whatever. And they're sort of looking for the pig as well. They need the pig back. Apparently the pig was stolen and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they're also looking for the pig. Pig goes missing, and the kid has to go looking for it, and he bumps into this guy named Gwydion, who's like, you know, he's like the Lancelot. He's like the knight for the good side, you know? And he's this legendary warrior, and Taran's a bit starstruck, but he also is going to join up with Gwydion, and they're going to get the pig back. So there's a lot of, like, you know, going on, like, a journey, and there's, like, a dark battle. They end up in a dungeon, and the kid's like, shit, we're stuck, blah, blah, blah. And then this girl, this little princess, who's very potentially scatterbrained, I don't know, I think she's cleverer than the story is letting her on to be. Her name is Princess Elanoi, and she has helped Taran escape, and she has also helped Gwydion escape, because Taran was like, first go get my friend out, and then come and get me. So she goes and she gets the friend out, and then she's like, he's waiting for you, let's go get out. But in the process of getting out, she steals a sword, and the castle crumbles. Like, I'm not sure if maybe the stealing of the sword had to do with the castle crumbling. I'm not sure why the castle crumbled. I think we'll find out later. But it was like an evil castle with this, like, evil queen woman. And so now they're in a field, and they're going to go toward Gwydion. They're running, they've got their sword, like, they're escaped. They're like, Gwydion! Turns out it's not Gwydion. The girl rescued the wrong person. She rescued this, like, silly, like, bard, like wizard type guy. He sort of reminds me of, what's that guy? The depiction of Merlin in the Once and Future King. If you've read that one, that's also like a kid's book about sort of like Welsh type stuff. But he's sort of like, yeah, this like scatterbrained sort of silly guy who ends up being super important. Like apparently he's not just a bard, he's also a wizard and like used to be a king. Apparently, something like this. His name is Fluter Flam. But like what's like minorly annoying is I know that it's Fluter Flam because I've seen the movie and his name is Fluter Flam in the movie. But if you look at this, like in Welsh, that should be Flawddir. Flawddir Flam. So that's annoying. If they wanted it to be Fluder, they should have done like one D and then just an R next to it. But like who's gonna be crazy about this? Not me. I promise. But now that they've realised that Gwydion was actually not rescued and that he was potentially in the castle and has died, now they have to continue on this thing, all of them together, the princess and the pig keeper and this like wizard guy, and they have to go and save the pig so that this like oracle pig doesn't fall into like the dark hands of like Lord Anuvan or whatever. So I think it's really cute. It's going really quick and it's like quite a cheerful, like happy thing, and I think I needed that in like my like forays into Welsh literature this month. I've read several grim ones already and like, it's like the end of times already outside of literature land, just in the real world. So like I need things that are happier to keep my anxiety levels down.
Okay, so I've had to invigilate a class test just now. Like, it's not really my job, but the person that I hired to do it is on strike because like staff in the university are striking, and for some reason this person thinks that they're also university staff and just didn't tell me that they were gonna come. So that's what I've been doing today, and I was originally annoyed about it, like, you volunteered, hello, you can't strike, but I just realized quickly that it was gonna allow me to spend an hour reading. So I brought 2 books with me like a crazy person. Probably students were like, this invigilator's really intense, she's brought 2 books, so I had to go with this. And then also I had to go with this, and I've got my 9 pages down for yesterday and still have my 9 pages to go for today. But it's really good, this book. And like, it's doing exactly what I want it to do, which is show me how good Welsh language literature can be if I just get my ass in gear. So the boy, like the teenage boy, he's like 14 and he's reading a couple books and he's like, oh, I always thought that like, there had to be a man and a woman and like sperm and stuff to make a baby, but I didn't really think about it properly. But now that I'm thinking of it, of course that's it. And my mother hasn't seen anyone except me for years. So how did baby Dewithon happen? He's like, where did his baby sister come from? She hasn't seen anyone in years. So there's a mystery there. And also the mom is saying some stuff about like how things have changed, how she worries less even though there's more to worry about. And also how the weather has become more intense. Like, I guess it's like nuclear winters and stuff, so that's really creepy. Like, I keep thinking about like coronavirus and the end of times. So anyway, solid well spent hour at work.
Y'all, 3 library holds have just come in on the same day. Like, what kind of crap is that? Okay, so I finished the book of 3 last night and it was really cute. I quite liked it. It's obviously ends pretty unsatisfactorily because it's one of 3 books. But I still really liked it, and I might read the other ones. Like, not now, as I've you can clearly see the pile of books behind me that still need to be read. But I wouldn't mind reading those other ones. It was quite cute. So maybe for Dewithon or something. I know that's ages away. But anyway, I've now moved on to The Moon-Eyed People, Folktales from Welsh America by Peter Stevenson. And this one is weirdly good so far. I wasn't really sure about it because I got it just sort of impulse buy really quickly. When I went to St Fagan, the museum in Cardiff. It's like an open air museum where they've plonked all these really old farmhouses and everything sort of just around. But I just sort of saw it there and I was like, oh, Tales from Welsh America. I'm American, my heritage is Welsh, I live in Wales, like that sounds pretty cool. And like the back of it was sort of about in Appalachia, sort of all of these different kinds of people coming together and making like a shared like group of legends, you know? So it's like African people, slaves, and Cherokee Indians, and sort of like Welsh settlers, and just a bunch of people sort of like coming together and sharing legends and folklore. Anyway, that sounded really interesting. So I'm on the first one now. I'm only a little bit of the way into it. And it's called The Wolf Girl Visits Wales. And I love these illustrations in the book. Like, they all have, like, all of the chapters have, like, a really cool illustration at the front. Like, the Cherokee who married a Welshman. But anyway, this particular one is about, like, a half wolf, half human family that sort of lives in America. And is sort of chased out and moves to Wales. And I just really like the idea. Like, the intro was really interesting. It was sort of talking about how loads of different cultures in America seem to have the same elements in their folklore, and how, you know, it is sort of likely down to them sort of meeting and sharing ideas, and then elements being passed on to each other to sort of like then be cemented in each other's sort of folklore and legends and everything. And I thought it was really interesting. And it's sort of like, I don't know, epitomizes the melting pot of America, where we sort of took the best of everybody's stuff and sort of melted it into a sort of a new identity. Anyway, I'm really liking it so far. So it's annoying that I now have to go to work, and then after work have to go straight out to have drinks with friends. So annoyed by this. Right, okay, can we just briefly discuss my child's nighttime reading? Because it's fire recently. So first one, Roller Girl by Victoria Jameson. This one is awesome. Okay, my kid got her first pair of skates. She's 5, by the way. Got her first pair of skates for her birthday, and she's in it. And this thing is like a middle grade sort of like a graphic novel about a girl that does roller derby. My kid's obsessed with it now. She's obsessed with the roller derby. She can't cope. Also, something I found at the library, I wasn't sure if she'd like, you know, it's a bit of a throwing it out there. Weirdly cool. My Little Pony Friends Forever graphic novel, or like comic or whatever. My kid basically thinks this is fire, and I agree.
Jesus, I'm literally about to buy all of these books. Like, somebody stop me, please. Okay, so I've been reading today a bit more of that Moon-Eyed People book. And some of the stories I can't really get into, like the first one. I was like, uh-oh, what am I up for? It was just a bit weird and sort of disjointed, and I didn't really like it. But other stories that are in it I have really liked, sort of like the more sort of like weirdly factual based ones that are less sort of like mythological or so, you know. Those are the ones that I'm quite enjoying. So I'll keep reading it. I think probably it's just like a sort of luck of the draw one, you know. I don't know which stories will come up that I like and which ones I don't like, but I'm fine with that, and I'm still reading Llyfrglas Nebo, which is getting quite good. I really like it, and it's quite like a book that I enjoy. Like, I quite like dystopian books like that. But I think, like various things happening in the world at the minute, like coronavirus and like the flooding and like various like political things or whatever. Like, I think the reason that I'm getting so much anxiety about it is because I don't look at it and just see the normal things like everyone else sees. I look at it and see all of the dystopian novels I've read. So I see like I sort of put that in the context of all these novels and just think about like the wastelands that like the novels end up as. Jesus. So like, I'm really enjoying it, and it's definitely up my street, but I think as soon as I finish it I need to just like
get off the track of the dystopian novels for a while. And start reading things that are like more like Disney things with like princesses and butterflies and like much colorful flowers. I think maybe the next book I read after I finish this one will be a book called Welsh Quilts. It's also on my list to read for Dewithon, and I think it'll just be way more cheerful. You know, like I need a good, like solid book about quilts in my life right now because I have so much anxiety. But anyway, thus concludes my first week of Dewithon. I'm really excited about how it's gone. I think next week I'm gonna make it a middle grade March week, and then the week after that another Dewithon week, like that. So I get both things into the month. But I'm really glad I did this week of Dewithon because I've read loads of sort of like Welsh literature that I wouldn't normally read. Like I bought it and put it on my shelf and I was like, I will definitely read this, and then it's been there for ages and I haven't read it. Whereas this Dewithon thing is really like, you know, pushed me to crack into it, and I have really enjoyed it. I've really liked it. And also I bought a new one today, that Pigeon book that I bought today is another Welsh one, so it sort of heightened my like awareness for Welsh literature as well. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'm sorry if it was a bit boring or a bit weird or a bit long, but thank you. I love you. Goodbye. Goodbye.